Hey everybody, Tony D and Little Joan here with a hot take on the Teen Vogue magazine website. I don't even know if there is a magazine anymore. Do people even read magazines? Certainly not teenagers, but I guess the website lives on. And as you can see, when you look at it right out the gate, it seems like, oh, this seems like a teen magazine. There's vaguely androgynous looking boy band type people. And although there's a weird tagline here, Teen Vogue, a little chaos goes a long way. What does that mean? Well, I would say that this publication, whatever you want to call it, has become taken over by cultural Marxists. And I know you're saying, what? It's Teen Vogue, man. Eh, let me lay out some of these tweets here, because keep in mind what it is. It's postmodernism run amok. It's about deconstructing everything. So here's part of that deconstruction. There's Taylor Swift. Quote, I've always loved music. You can kind of slip into different identities and you can sing from other people's perspectives. So that's what I did on this one. Taylor Swift confirms some Betty fan theories. So this is about, being whatever you want to be, right? Different identities, which apparently is okay for Taylor Swift, but not for professional actors, voice actors on The Simpsons. Then there's something about Selena Gomez and the VMAs being held outside and some, various cosmetics. But then you get to this. 11 people explain what bi visibility means to them. For me, being openly, quote, for me, being openly and visibly bisexual is about actively dismantling our ideas of what love, romance, gender, sexuality, and sexuality look like. It's about disrupting our ideas of what relationships can and should look like. That is complete cultural Marxism right there. It's about postmodernists deconstructing everything. I mean, if we allow them to deconstruct relationships to the point, and this has already happened on Tinder and other dating sites. I see it myself just swiping through. These women have bizarre ideas of relationships, and I don't even think they really believe it. I think they're just caught up in this trend, partially driven by publications like Teen Vogue. And, they're nuts. In my view, they're absolutely out of their minds. They want to do polyamory things, and they're married, but they date too, and it seems like when men do that, they're pigs, but when women do it, they're like empowered, and there's just no limits. There's no limits. Everything is everything, which means everything's nothing, and that's kind of what the postmodernists want. They want to tear down everything so they can rebuild it in their own image. This next article is about activism. Don't let someone tell you that you're too young. Advice for young activists, which again is not particularly a good message for young girls. Like, just because you can be an activist doesn't mean you know what you're talking about. I did a little activism. I didn't really know the issues. I especially didn't know them like I know them now. Back in the day, yeah, I marched for a few things, nothing crazy, but it's like I didn't really know much. Partly it was just to do something. Partly it was because I felt like a good person doing it. I felt like I had to. And I think that's what this is. It's like pushing these young people. You got to do this. You're some kind of monster if you don't. And then, in between that, lip gloss forever, which is, something you'd expect in Teen Vogue, cosmetics. Then you get from fashion to beauty to home decor, okay, 12 black-owned Etsy shops to put on your radar. It's like, it's kind of progressive racism right there. Yoga headbands and exfoliating cloths and how to rock sweatpants and teen movies and Disney. Even the lesbian TV shows, okay, whatever, and celebrities and whatnot. Then you get down here, Joe Biden says he witnessed the diversity of thought, background, and sentiment within the African community throughout his career. It's like, why are you running defense for Joe Biden? Like, what teenager is going to be interested in the nearly 80-year-old man who's running for president. I can't think of something more boring for a teenager than to throw that in. Are you serious? Are you serious? And this is all just, covered like, oh, Biden said something racist, but, he didn't really mean it in a racist way, and here's why. At the same time, while they're promoting, in my opinion, progressive racist ideas here. Then you got, we must pay close attention to the prosecution of protesters and all future arrestees that come. It's like, this isn't Teen Vogue. This is like activist Vogue. He's got the I Can't Breathe shirt. Teens face years in prison over BLM uprisings. Well, they're not uprising. They're riots. And when you burn down a police station or a car or you attack cops, you're in big trouble. That's what Teen Vogue. Well, Teen Vogue, I don't even know why they're involved in this. Like, why? You'd think it would be a safe haven for young women to read about cosmetics and singers, and you're going to get all political. And there's a gay TV show, a guy who put himself. This is a nice story. A guy who put himself from security guard to med student. But again, he seems older. Like, he doesn't seem like a teenager. Some poetry woman. And then here, straight up, communism right here. Class solidarity can be a powerful tool for organizing and defending communities. No one is coming to save us. What we have is one another. What a message from Teen Vogue. Like, you're on your own. You're screwed. We got to band together, and like you live in a third world country somewhere. You live in America. There are people here who have meltdowns if their Wi-Fi goes out. You're asking these people to organize and defend communities. From what? I'll tell you what you have to defend them from. You have to defend them from the BLM riots and Antifa. That's what you should be organizing against, if anything. But again, these are just teenagers. These are the worst people to attempt to organize. They don't organize. When they organize, you get Antifa in Portland. They have no idea what they're doing. They do random stuff. They kind of go along with the hive mind, and they get into big trouble because of it. You have that kid who somebody handed him what he thought was a firework, and he threw it. It turned out to be a much bigger bomb. He's in big trouble. He got caught. But the guy who handed him the bomb, they have no idea where he is. See, he trusted him. That's how the older guys in the organization get the younger guys to take the fall. That's pretty common within criminal organizations. Because, hey, even the older guys figure, well, he's a young kid. He'll get out in a couple of years. But then we can move this forward. With organized crime, it would be about money. With this, it's about, tearing down the state. And the fact that Teen Vogue is part of that, it just shows you we're in a bizarro world. It's exactly what we wrote about in Wokistan. We had a parody because we had read stories about Teen Vogue. We were like, oh, we got to put something in about Teen Vogue. So we made up another magazine just like Teen Vogue that was publishing articles about how sexy Karl Marx is and stuff like that. So, but if your kid is reading Teen Vogue, understand that you should take a serious look at it and try to say, hey, maybe this isn't for you. Maybe Cosmo's more your speed.